guys, welcome back to my channel, The Planted Carly Flower. I'm Carly, and today we are going to be talking about something a little bit different. I try to keep this channel super positive and upbeat, but today we're going to be talking about plants that I just hate. Plants that I will never buy. They are not aesthetically pleasing to my eye, and I just have absolutely, or I just don't like the price, let's be honest. Let's go ahead and talk about all the plants I will never buy.
I want to be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my hair down if I want. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time?
Okay guys, so these are plants that I don't personally like or I will personally buy, and I just want to put out there to you that if these are some of your favorite plants, that is totally okay. Me not liking them just means more plants for you, and it also means I won't be driving the price up for you. So look at it that way. But yeah, there's just some plants that I don't like. I'm sure there's plants that you don't like that I probably own, and that's totally okay. So please, no offense meant. This is all in good fun, and it's just some of my dislikes. So the first plant that I will never buy and will never give any time or energy to is a spider plant. They bother me so much, and I was surrounded by these plants as a child. They were some of my mother's favorite plants. She had them all over the house, and I just never liked them. I've never seen a variegated one that I liked. I've never seen a regular one that I've liked. I have never met a spider plant that I've been like, that's kind of cute. Never once have I ever thought, spider plant is where it's at, I need that. The way they create the little pups at the end of their leaves or their vines, and they just multiply like little parasites, I cannot. I just don't like them. I've never liked them ever since I was a child. They were very, very popular in the 80s, and they were in every home because they are very easy care, and I understand that people like them for that reason. They make spectacular hanging plants from what I understand, but they're just not my cup of tea. I'm not a fan. I will never buy a snake plant or a spider plant, never. Another plant that I am absolutely not into that a lot of people are into is specifically tall snake plants, like the big tall ones. I do have as like this that are small and tiny and cute. I like this. I like this size. I like this situation here. I really think this is pretty and cute. But the tall ones that are like 2-3 feet tall, aesthetically, they're just not for me. I know a lot of people, since they tolerate low light, find them an easy thing to stick in a corner where they want some greenery, and that is absolutely fantastic, and I don't blame them, because that would probably be what I would stick in the corner of a low light situation. That way I didn't have to worry too much about it. But they're just not for me. I don't care for them at all. I don't really know what they remind me of, but they're also called like mother-in-law tongues. They're just not for me. I don't think they would look good with my aesthetic. It's not something I'm interested in. I don't really care for their variegation. It just seems like a big mess to me if one of my kids were to knock them over or my dog was to knock them over. Not for me. I'm not a fan. I'll never buy a very tall snake plant. It's just not my aesthetic. Another plant that I don't like that is readily available in every single Lowe's and Home Depot across the nation are crotons. Oh my God, they look to me like they have some sort of, first of all, they just scream to me, I am poisonous, keep me away from everything. And with a dog and 3 kids, not into it, not gonna get one. Crotons are not my jam. Their coloring is just, I hear that they're really finicky as far as light. I'm not trying to bring something super temperamental into my home. They just are spider mite magnets, and just overall not my aesthetic. I don't really care for them. I never have. I know a lot of people are drawn to them when they first go plant shopping, or even when they haven't first gone plant shopping, but I know people are attracted to them because they have spectacular coloring, and they're definitely eye-catching. They draw your eye for sure. But they're just not for me. I am not a big fan of a lot of color anyway. I like very muted tones, which is probably why I'm into Hoyas. They don't really have very bright colors for the most part, unless you sunstress them. But yeah, crotons, not for me. No, I'll pass. Okay, this next one is gonna shock a lot of people. a lot of people, because I do think that this plant is absolutely beautiful, but it's overall just not for me. It's not for me from the price, from the size that it gets to, just in general, not my jam. And that is the Monstera Albo. I know, people are scouring the world looking for a Monstera Albo. People are like, I wish I could afford a Monstera Albo, they're so expensive. And I'm just like, no, I have no interest in ever owning a Monstera Albo. They are not for me. I'm not really into huge, gigantic floor plants anyway, and eventually, no matter what size I bought, it would get to that point. What am I going to do when it gets to that point? I'd probably just have to sell it, because I don't have any space for floor plants. My youngest son is also visually impaired, so that trying to teach him to navigate around an ever-changing and growing plant sounds like a nightmare. Oh, there was a leaf here. There wasn't a leaf here a week ago, son, but now there is, so you can't walk here anymore. That would, oh no, absolutely not. I'm trying to stay away from all floor plants as is, and honestly, I don't think the Albo is pretty enough for me to spend $300 on 2 leaves. It's just not. I know that there are people that will spend $500 for 2 leaves because it's got the variegation that they want. And I am so happy the plant exists so that you can buy it, and I hope the price goes down for you. But one less person right here that will be driving up the price and trying to buy the plant from underneath you, because they're just not for me. They are beautiful, I will give you that. They are gorgeous plants, but they're just not for me, from the size they get to the price, to the how finicky they are. I see so many people trying to root Albos that just never work out, and they rot, and they've spent that money that they didn't get a plant out of, and I'm just not here for it. Like, it's not my jam. But yeah, the Monstera Albo is a plant I will not be buying. Another plant that I just don't care for is another readily available Lowe's, Home Depot nursery plant, and that is a Ponytail Palm. It's not my jam at all. I don't know how many times I'm going to say not my jam, but none of these plants are, so it is what it is. I just don't care for them. You know what they remind me of, which is really crazy. If you're a 90s kid, you're gonna know this. They remind me of Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons with the hair. Like, I just know, I can't do it. I am not a Ponytail Palm girl. I am not a fan. I will probably never buy one, and I have zero desire to. They just are not aesthetically pleasing to my eye. Again, probably would end up being a floor plant even if I bought a small one, and I'm just not trying to repot a giant plant like that. I'm not trying to find space for it, especially since I don't like the way it looks. And the last plant on my list of plants I don't like and will never buy is a fiddle leaf fig. Oh, I have enough dramatic people in my house. I'm not trying to add the dramatic plant to it as well. Those plants, all I ever see are people saying, I like fiddle leaf fig, lost 3 leaves and now it's just 1 leaf and a stick, and I'm just like, oh, I cannot. I would yeet that thing out of my house so quick. I just cannot with the divas. It's not pretty enough to me to put up with all of the attitude the plant throws, and I'm just not a fan of it in general. I think that there are prettier plants to spend my money on, and I just have not been drawn to fiddle leaf figs. I will admit, when they are big and huge and beautiful, they absolutely look gorgeous in people's homes, especially if they have huge windows with all the light. Absolutely, they do look beautiful. I get why they're popular, but they're just not for me. I don't find their attractiveness on par with how finicky they are. It's not for me. I don't even think I have a spot in my house that would sustain a fiddle leaf fig that doesn't already have plants in that spot anyway. So yeah, fiddle leaf fig, not for me. But what are some plants that you will never buy, even if they're plants I have? I'd love to hear about it. Please, please leave them in the comments down below. I love to hear about it, because it's always so funny to hear about people's tastes and what they like and they don't like, because everyone is so different, and it's absolutely amazing to see those differences and to celebrate them. Besides, if you're not buying the plants I'm after, that's more for me. So definitely leave me a comment down below telling me about plants that you're not into, even if they're super popular. Thank you so much for joining me. Please hit subscribe and like, hit that notification bell. I really appreciate all of you interacting with my account. It means the world to me that you're here watching, because I'm not that entertaining, so I don't know why you're here, but I'm glad that you are. Don't forget to check out my Instagram, TikTok, Amazon storefront. All those are in my link tree in the description box. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, week, weekend, whenever this goes up. I hope you get to spend lots of quality time with your plant babies today. Thank you.